In a quiet corner of a forgotten Ayo village, far from the noise of cities and opportunities, stood a small mud house with a roof patched together by rusted zinc sheets and hope. Inside that house lived a family of 5, a father whose silence spoke of defeat, a mother hardened by poverty, and 3 children, 2 girls and 1 boy. The eldest was Nora, 17 years old. Then came Favor, 14, sharp-tongued, observant, and already learning how to survive without kindness. The last born was Peter, 10, the only boy, the pride of the house, the child everyone protected. But Nora was the pillar no one noticed. While the village still slept under the blanket of night, Nora was already awake. The rooster had not crowed. The sky was still dark blue. Even the cold air felt heavy. She quietly tied her wrapper, lit the firewood stove, and began blowing into the smoke until flames obeyed her. Her eyes watered, her throat burned, her stomach ached with hunger, but she continued. Rice for breakfast? Beans, akara batter, pap boiling slowly in a blackened pot. Behind her, her mother slept. In the next room, Favor and Peter lay sprawled across their mattress, breathing peacefully, unaware that their day had already been paid for by someone else's exhaustion. Nora stirred the pot and swallowed painfully. She hadn't eaten since yesterday afternoon. By sunrise, Nora and her mother were already seated beside their wooden food stand near the roadside. Office workers, motorcyclists, market women, school children, people came, bought, complained about price, demanded extra meat and left. Some days were good, most days were not. When food remained unsold, Nora carried it in a basin balanced on her head and began hawking through the streets. Hot rice, beans, akara, fresh food. She walked past shops, dusty compounds, and half-built houses where construction workers labored under the sun. Sometimes they bought, sometimes they whistled at her. Sometimes they grabbed her hand, sometimes they said things that made her skin crawl. One afternoon, 3 drunk men cornered her behind an unfinished building. "Small girl, come here." Her heart nearly stopped. She ran until her legs trembled and her chest burned. That night, she told her mother what happened. Her mother didn't even look up from sorting beans. "Next time, avoid that area. Don't waste food." That was all. No hug, no fear, no anger, just instructions. Once upon a time, Nora had been a brilliant student. Teachers praised her handwriting. Classmates borrowed her notes. She dreamt of wearing a university matriculation gown someday. But dreams cost money, and money was something her family never had, except when it concerned someone else. Her parents promised, "Don't worry, we'll gather money for your WAEC fees." Months passed. Then years. Nothing happened. Instead, Nora dropped out completely and became her mother's full-time helper. Every morning, she walked Favor and Peter to school, watching them disappear through the gate she once entered with pride. Every afternoon, she returned to pick them up. She carried their bags, listened to their complaints, bought them snacks when she had coins. No one ever asked how she felt. At home, food was shared carefully. Favor and Peter received full portions. The father ate quietly. The mother served herself generously. When Nora finally sat down, "The food has finished," her mother would say. And that was that. Nora would smile weakly. "It's okay, Mama." But at night, Her stomach roared like an angry animal. Sometimes she drank water until she felt full. Sometimes she cried silently into her pillow. Sometimes she slept hungry after selling food all day. Years passed. Favor and Peter completed secondary school. There was celebration in the house, laughter, dancing, visitors congratulating the parents. Then came the announcement. We've bought JAMB forms for Favor and Peter. Nora froze. JAMB? University? With what money? Her hand trembled as she washed plates outside. That money came from the food she hawked, from the days she walked under scorching sun, from nights she returned home exhausted and empty-stomached. But she said nothing, because Nora had learned something very early in life. Her pain had no audience. One evening, she gathered courage. Mama, can I go back to school? I just want to finish secondary school. Her mother's reaction was immediate. You are wicked. Nora blinked in shock. You are jealous of your siblings. After all we are doing for them, you want to drag them down? I'm not jealous, Mama. Selfish girl! The words cut deeper than any slap. That night, Nora lay on her mat, staring into darkness, tears soaking her pillow until sleep finally dragged her away. After Favor and Peter left for university, the house felt emptier, but not lighter. Bills increased, demands increased, phone calls came every week. Mama, we need pocket money. Mama, school expenses. Mama, textbooks. And Mama always turned to Nora. So one day, Nora tried again. Mama, if I can't go back to school, can I learn baking, please? I can make money. Her mother didn't even hesitate. No money. All we have is for your siblings. That night, Nora didn't just cry. She broke. The university she had dreamed of, the classrooms she imagined, the future she believed in, gone. Late that night, her mother entered her room. Nora, why are you like this? Why are you jealous? Nora said nothing. You are the eldest. It is your responsibility. You must sacrifice so your siblings can succeed. Her mother's voice softened slightly. Sleep. Tomorrow you must wake early. Your brother and sister will soon call for money. Then she left. Nora stared into the darkness and whispered to herself, Who will sacrifice for me? No one answered. The next morning, she woke before dawn again. But something inside her had changed. She had stopped waiting to be chosen. She would choose herself, secretly. So she walked faster than usual, sold food aggressively, and by noon, she slipped away quietly to a small shop at the edge of the village, a place filled with the smell of butter, sugar, and warm bread, a place owned by Auntie Mercy, the woman who unknowingly would change her destiny. Nora learns fast, shockingly fast. Within 2 months, she could bake birthday cakes, meat pies, chin-chin, parfaits, smoothies, things she had only seen from afar before. Auntie Mercy adored her. This girl, your hands are blessed. Every day followed the same secret routine. Hawk food in the morning, run to the bakery at noon, return home by evening pretending she had been selling all day. For the first time in years, Nora felt alive. Eventually, her mother found out. There was shouting, accusations, threats. But surprisingly, she didn't stop Nora. Because by then, Nora's income had become useful. Useful for school fees, useful for house repairs, useful for emergencies, useful for everyone, except Nora. Whenever her siblings came home for holidays, the atmosphere changed. They looked at her differently, not with gratitude, with contempt. Village girl, dropout, illiterate. They said these things openly, in front of their parents. No one defended her. No one reminded them who paid for their education. Nora smiled weakly each time, then cried alone later. Then came Daniel, a tall, gentle barber who owned a small salon in the village. He treated Nora with kindness she had never known. He wanted to marry her. Her mother's response? Poor boy, stay away from my daughter. Daniel wasn't the only one. Every suitor who came was chased away with one excuse or another. Finally, her mother said the truth. If you marry, who will take care of us? And just like that, Nora's life stopped being hers. Favor and Peter graduated. There was celebration again. Favor got a good job in Uyo, married and left. At her wedding, Nora offered to bake the cake. Favor laughed. Go and marry your own husband so you can bake for yourself. Everyone laughed. Nora stood there smiling, while her heart shattered silently. Peter returned home with a pregnant girlfriend. Soon, arguments started. One rainy night, the girl accused Nora of pushing her. She hadn't touched her, but no one listened. Peter threw Nora's belongings outside. Her mother watched silently. Rain poured mercilessly. Thunder roared. Nora stood in the mud, clutching her small bag, shaking from cold and shock. No one called her back inside, so she curled up beside the wall and slept in the rain, alone.